Okay, let's get into looking at the melody for the Wah Wah song from Kimba The White Lion. It's easily one of my favorite pieces of all time, despite the fact that I've only come across it in the last couple of weeks. It's very quickly skyrocketed to the very top of my all-time favorites, and one of the most underrated film scores, I believe, of all time. So we'll look at just the melody first. I'll be taking you through the melody in kind of a easier fashion. Then we're going to look at an intermediate version. We look at playing the chords in the left hand. And then we're also going to look at a slightly harder version where we kind of play out the rhythm a little bit and have a bit of fun with it. Because if there's one thing I know about this song, it's a lot of fun. So let's look at that melody. We're going to be in G major. So all white notes on the piano except for an F sharp instead of an F. And we're starting on an E. So we're going to go like this. And then it repeats after that. You probably noticed about halfway through that melody there, I've actually thrown in, there's a counter melody that's in the trumpet line that comes in. It actually got two little parts, but I only put the first one in because I think it's pretty integral to the way the melody kind of works. It helps move along to the next chord. And it kind of is in the space between the wahs, whereas the other part of the trumpet line is behind the wahs. So I didn't notate that one, but you'll see that little trumpet line there at the end of that bar in the notation. And just having look through, let's go through all the notation of that first little part again. So starting on an E to D, then to A, G, E, B, A, D. Cool, nice little dotted quaver there into another minim. F sharp, D. Same again now. Up to the high D now. That's where we throw in the trumpet line. Then back to the wahs. Then that very nicely leads into the repeat. So that's a pretty good look there at just the melody of the Kimba Wah song. Even just that little bit there that I just played really just almost moved me to tears. So I might take a quick break and come back and we'll go through the intermediate one. Okay, so looking at the intermediate version of the Kimba Wah song, we're going to be looking at, like I said, we're in the key of G. So it's actually pretty simple chords. Now, there is a point I did want to make. I think that it's very hard to tell with the low sound quality of the piece, which is regrettably, probably the only thing that lets the piece down a little bit, that the sound quality isn't a lot better. I think you can hear in the bass notes that actually where I've put a C, I think it's actually an A, but I think the C chord works better for piano. You're very welcome to try it as a A minor, but I think the C works better for a solo kind of vibe. I think that if you look at the instrumentation and the orchestration, the A minor kind of works in that context, but it doesn't sound anywhere near as good on the piano. So this should pop up there, and you can also use this if you're a keen guitarist to play along, strum along these chords. So starting, same melody as before, it's exactly the same melody. We're just going to be looking, adding those chords. So in the left hand, starting on G in the second inversion, D, G, B, okay? And then we're looking at, that's the first chord, then our C and D are going to be in root position. So it's going to go like this. B minor there in root position, B, D, F sharp in the left hand. Then an E minor in the right hand, left hand, sorry, E minor. That's where that trumpet line is, comes into brings the melody back on the E minor. Now this is an A minor, put this in root position, but you can play it in this inversion if you want to, which would be C, E, A, but I've put it as A, C, E. Back to the E minor. D there to finish, then it repeats. Okay, so that kind of explains that more intermediate version there. We've just got the exact same melody as the first time and going through the chords. I will run you through that one last time, yelling at the chords as we go. So, G, C to D, back to G, C, D, G, C, D, B minor, E minor, A minor, E minor again, D, G. Okay, almost lost it there, but kind of held it together. So that's a pretty good idea of the intermediate version. Okay, so let's look into the third version now. This is the more advanced way. We're going to start looking at octaves in the right hand. We're also going to look at a left hand that it's not particularly orchestral, but at least rhythmically moves the melody along and has a bit of energy to it. It's very hard to kind of arrange such a complex and I don't know. It's very hard to quantify what makes that piece so great. And I did my very best to kind of bring that same emotion into the piano arrangement. And I hope that you guys can also find that when you play this, it really stirs you and brings out your inner lion. Okay, octaves, let's do it. So G's, same chords, G's, C's, D's, B minors, E minors, etc. But yeah, we're going to octaves. And then left hand, I'm predominantly going to be doing this kind of rhythm. Just to move it along. Yeah, nice little rhythm there. So. And repeat. All right, guys, that's it. That's the tutorial done. Kimba the White Lion, the Wah Wah song. I would love to see you guys use this tutorial to put up some covers and stuff. Really looking forward to maybe seeing some of that around. Maybe if Adam sees this video, he'd like to do a cover of this with me. I know he's a pretty talented multi-instrumentalist and I play the piano. So let's maybe make that happen. That would be cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. The sheet music's on my Patreon. The link's in the description. I would love for you guys to check that out. I really hope you enjoyed it. Keep the Kimba spirit alive, I guess. Okay, I'm out. Thanks, guys. Bye.